Do you know 56% of Americans drink coffee at least 1 cup a day? Every morning, you will see a long line waiting at the coffee shop. It's fair to say that coffee has become an indispensable part of people's daily lives. People drink coffee not only because of the caffeine, it's also a ritual that ties into daily routines. But every time you walk into a coffee shop, have you ever wondered what's the difference between each coffee? What does French press mean? Why do espresso and pour-over taste so different? So now I'm going to introduce you to 3 common brewing methods: espresso, French press, and pour-over. Espresso is one of the most classic way of brewing coffee. When we talk about espresso, it could refer to both a coffee beverage and a brewing method. Espresso is made by very hot water under high pressure through finely ground coffee. Because of its brewing process, espresso is generally thicker than the coffee brewed by other methods, and has a higher concentration of flavors and chemicals. People often think espresso contains a lot of caffeine because it tastes bitter. However, since it is usually served in small size, the total caffeine in espresso is actually less than a mug of standard brewed coffee. Espresso is very flexible. Pairing with other ingredients, barista is able to create coffee drinks with unique flavors. Most coffee we are familiar with, like latte, cappuccino, macchiato, they are all made based on espresso. Another advantage of espresso is its consistency. Big coffee companies like Starbucks mostly uses espresso machines because they will produce the most consistent coffee, so customers will get a coherent experience in every store. Besides espresso, French press is another brewing method that has a long history. Because French press is very affordable and easy to operate, a lot of families like to use French press to make coffee at home. Unlike the espresso, which uses high pressure and hot water to extract coffee, French press uses the immersion method. Coffee is brewed by placing coarsely ground coffee in the empty beaker, then adding hot water. The brewing time is about 2 to 4 minutes. Then press the mesh plunger to separate the grounds and hold them at the bottom of the beaker. It is very important to transfer the brewed coffee to another server right away. Otherwise, it will over-extract the coffee and cause a bitter flavor. Because coffee ground is immersed in hot water, French press coffee has a complex flavor and usually contains the oil and essence from the coffee. Pour-over coffee, also known as manual drip coffee, becomes a popular way of making coffee in recent years. Water seeps through the ground coffee, absorbing its chemical compounds, and then passes through the filter. The used coffee grounds remain in the filter while the brewed coffee is collected in a mug. Using paper filter produces a clear and light cup of coffee. However, it lacks coffee's oil and essence because they were trapped in the paper filter. A lot of people like making pour-over coffee at home not only because it's light taste, but also because they enjoy making the coffee. Pouring water into the coffee filter is a steady and calming process. This gives people an opportunity to slow themselves down and solely focus on the coffee and the smell. Pour-over produces an inconsistent taste compared to espresso. The ratio of coffee and water, even the way you pour the water, will affect the taste of coffee. There isn't a single best way of making coffee. What you can do is trying different coffee until you find the one you enjoy the most. Next time you walk into a coffee shop, talk to the barista. Try the coffee you've never tried before. Welcome to a whole new world of coffee.